Last time, Sora and the others went back at was that met up with Riku at, at Fishman Island, and now they're reunited, and now he's back with the gang. And the question is, where are they going to next? Well, let's just say it's an island that'll change them for a while. What do I mean by that? We'll find out. Sorry, that was not a good intro. But anyway, my name is Nyron Suckerfed in Kentucky,
I'm Phineas Diaz.
and welcome to another Kingdom Hearts One Piece crossover. This time it's at Punk Hazard. And here's how we start with this. Um, Sora and we'll have a moment before we start the real story. Sora and Riku and Sora is telling Riku about his and about he was. Did we say he was? Did he propose to Kairi, or I forget?
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, he said, "Well, Riku, Kairi, as you know, Kairi and I are going to get married, and I need to, and I don't know where the wedding will take place. Do you suppose I get ideas?" Riku says, "Sorry, that's not my department." What did you ask Genie? And Genie comes in, and he does all the wedding planning. It's like what he did in King of Thieves.
Yeah.
I suggest. He said,
"No role model. Dig a little deeper."
"Yeah." And then they hear Sanji said, "It's time to eat." And then the story begins. Um, do you remember how it started? They hear the distress call. Am I right? You hear me? Yeah, they see a volcano, and Luffy got all excited, but his girlfriend Nami said, "Oh no, you don't. You're not going there by yourself." And then they had to draw sticks. And
You there?
yeah, I'm still here. It yeah, they drove this. This is the part where they found the island. I mean, the volcano. And Luffy wants to go, and Sora admits that. Sora says, "I'm going with you," and Kairi said, "You two are not going by yourselves. You need at least 3 more people with you. A few more people
Yeah,
with
they
you."
hear that distress call from the snail.
Yeah, and then they draw sticks to see who will go with Luffy and who will stay on the ship. Of course, Zoro, Robin, and Usopp won. You know who else will join? Mickey and Goof. Mickey.
Sora.
Yeah, and Mickey. And Sora said, "Well, I'm joining you on your adventures again, Luffy. Let's see what kind of trouble we'll get into."
And Right, Sora. Even I can come too, says Mickey. Cool. We haven't teamed up in a while.
Yeah, and Riku said. Then Mickey turns to Riku. You sure you'll be doing okay? Then and Riku says, Mickey, trust me. I'll be on my. I'm always on my best behavior. So, okay.
Gyro's like, don't worry, I'll keep him in check.
Yeah, and Sanji too. It's oh, Kyrie, you're so beautiful. And Sora punches him and then kisses Kyrie goodbye. And
Oh, damn, why are you always gonna torture me with that?
yeah. Then he said, "Oh, it's like." Then he sees Nami and Luffy kissing. I said, "Oh, oh well, at least I got you, and Robinson in your dreams."
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah, and they found and when and they wander as soon as they got there, they wandered the place and hold on. Um, I believe they wandered the place and they encountered a dragon and Sora says a dragon. I haven't seen those in a while.
Yeah, they all like take off some of their like Zoro, Luffy, and Sora taking their shirts off because it's so hot.
Yeah, it's how Sora got bigger. Like he's Captain America big. His body.
Yeah. He's more ripped than Luffy is.
Yeah. Because Kyrie made him eat his vegetables.
And all that training he did, too.
Yeah. What they don't know is that it was Smoker and Tashigi intercepted distress call that Luffy picked them, and they set a course for Punk Hazard. And Sora and Luffy and Zoro fight the dragon, they found out he could speak. I was like, why did the dragon just talk?
A talking dragon?
And Sora said, why am I not?
Is that Mushu?
Wait, who's Mushu? Oh, he's this dragon.
I knew could talk as Mushu.
Yeah, and he talks so fast that he sounds like some kind of raunchy comedian, like the genie. I know Robin isn't raunchy, but you get my point. And do you remember how? And meanwhile,
back like Zoro cut the dragon in half and they started eating it.
Yeah, and Sora said, this dragon surprisingly tastes good. Meanwhile, Kyrie and Nami are.
The rest of them are going over the frozen section of the island.
Yeah. I think we go back to the ship where Kyrie and Nami are waiting for Sora and the others, Sora and Luffy and the others to return. And
yeah.
Nami and Riku said, "Hey, girls, don't worry, they'll be back. It's Sora and Luffy." Yeah, I know, but I can't help but worry about you know how reckless they are. Well, yeah, but they always get out of situations.
Just be where Caesar's men come and knock them all out.
Yeah, Riku draws out his Keyblade and almost fights, but then he smells the gas and falls asleep. And he was the first to fall asleep.
And they take everybody except Brooke.
Yeah. And Sanji tries to call Luffy, but it was too late. And they all get captured, and except for Brooke. And then said the mat started taking them to the captives.
Back with I think Luffy, they find that this lower half on the dragon that somehow attaches to Luffy's backside.
Yeah, I remember that. It was.
I'm a centaur. No, you're not, Luffy.
And they start to run away, and Luffy gets and the sword kind of laughs at the sight. Meanwhile, the back at the Caesar's place, Nami was the first to wake up, and she sees Kyrie, wake up, wake up. Ugh, what happened? I think these men captured us and put him in this room. Put him in some kind of.
Because then they'd see like, well, Kinemon's head like chopped up into pieces.
Yeah, surprised, and all of them but Riku is surprised. You know why Riku isn't surprised? Because he's seen scarier things.
Yeah. So he put his head back together?
Yeah, and he starts fighting with Nami, and hey, buddy, this girl has a boyfriend, and you're not gonna mess with him if he finds out you flirt with her. Got it? Yes, sir.
I understand. They keep putting his head back wrong.
Yeah. And Donald said, hey, no, that's not how you do it. And he does it his way, and it looks even worse.
Where did you learn to do this, Donald? Because you're awful at it.
Hey, And he's tried to make, and couldn't think of any excuses. And they find the door's locked, and Kyrie says, I'll handle it. And she unlocks it with the key.
To unlock it.
Yep.
That is very handy.
Yep. And then they all find a way to escape. But then I believe
wait, guys, where's Brooke?
They must have not got him because they thought he was dead. And then Sanji said, if he was here, he would say, "Oh, skull joke."
Sure.
And Riku asks, Are his skull jokes that bad?
Have you not heard them yet?
Not all of them. Some. And then they run away and try to find a room.
Well, Sanji's carrying Kinemon's head.
Yeah.
And that's where they run into the biscuit room.
Get with all the giant children.
Like, whoa, they're huge.
And then both Kairi and Nami suddenly got friendly. It's, hey there, little ones. My name is Kairi, and this is Nami. What is this place? It's called the Biscuit Room. Really? And the samurai head scared the kids, and Riku puts them in a bag and said, I'm not gonna let you scare any kid. And I think and Sanji was the one that I suggest we make our way out of here. Everyone, and they all gushed over Chomper, how cute he is, and they love Frank. He's super.
Frankie.
Yeah, they all had a good time. Hey, guys, I hate to interrupt this nice moment with the kids, but we got to get out of here before those guys in suits arrive. Oh, please, can you help us? Those guys in suits are scary. They have dark creatures. Wait, dark creatures? Did some of them look like they have antennas and large bodies? Yes! Heartless!
They come in all shapes and sizes.
Heartless! I knew it. What did they tell you about? What did they tell you? They said, they told us they were friendly creatures that saving us from the bad guys. And Kairi says, they're lying to you. Those creatures are called the Heartless. And they steal people's hearts. What? They do? Yes.
The master was lying to us?
Yes.
Who is this master?
Yeah. And Sanji said, whoever he is, we can take care of it later. But right now we got to get out of here and find Luffy and Sora. And everyone was about to make
back to Luffy. They go to they have to cross that river, or the lake, but they can't because two of them can't swim.
Yeah, and Sora has an idea that he turns. What are you doing, Sora? Then he gets ready to jump in the pool, and then turns into a merman. Wait,
how are you not freezing?
It's a sick. It's cold. Actually, he is freezing. He said when he gets in the water, he's like, it's cold. Imagine Haley Joel Osment doing that voice.
Yeah.
Actually, we have heard him say, it's cold.
Yeah, when he got to Arendelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how does this help us, Sora?
I can carry one of you, and Zora could carry the other. And Usopp, you don't have to carry any of them if you don't want to.
Let's think on something else. Sora.
What's that?
Can your Keyblade do something?
Oh yeah, I can build a bolt. Let's say it's kind of like a mini. If this was game. This wasn't the game. It would be a mini game of how to make a boat. It would look like the raft he and Riku and Kairi would try to make. And
Yeah.
so I said,
The other
man,
thing is that Brownbeard's on the other side gonna try to sink them.
yeah, yeah. Then Sora finds a summon. What kind of summon should he have? Did it take place at night? Should it be Goliath?
I guess.
Yeah. You know how it'll introduce, and of course, it's got to be Keith David.
No one else.
We already had Goliath, didn't we?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
not that I remember.
Yeah. Here's how we'll introduce Goliath. He's asleep and Sora summons him, and then he's a statue, sleeping. Then once he arrives, he wakes up. Ah! Who has summoned me? I did. I'm Sora. I'm a Keyblade master. Well, not a Keyblade master, but Keyblade. Did you say Keyblade?
I feel he'd be a master by this point.
Yeah, that's true. I see that. Oh yeah, we forgot to have Cloud there too. Cloud's there. Cloud's with them. Let's just say Cloud went with them as well.
Well, if that's the case, he could just summon Shiva and she can make a bridge of ice.
Yeah, but I'm still making Goliath here.
Okay.
So what are you? Some kind of gargoyle? Exactly. Oh, yeah. You're better than the gargoyles from Quasimodo's world. What? You don't want to know. He thinks back to Quasimodo's world where they sing a guy like you.
So unless Sora went crazy with Quasi.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I might make a fic. What if instead of those gargoyles, what if it was Goliath that was in that movie instead?
I'm pretty sure he'd deal with Frollo quicker than the movie did.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Goliath don't take shit from anybody.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't.
Yeah. And then, meanwhile, back in the biscuit room, Sanji wants to escape, but Kairi and Sakura says no. What? Kairi? Sakura?
What do you mean no?
We gotta find. The only way to help these kids is to go look for Sora and Luffy. I'm making him sound less selfish here than he was in the original. I know, guys. I know Sora and Luffy can help, but there's no way I'm turning my back on these children. Not after we're the only ones that can help them. And Mocha and the girl said, "You mean it?" Kairi says, "I promise." She will have a special bond with Mocha, like Nami.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I battled Caesar's men, and who summoned Heartless. I knew it, says Riku, and I was starting to get bored. And Sanji joins him, but why don't I join? This would be a Riku and Sanji team up, while Kairi and Nami always teams up, of course. And Donald and Goofy team up with Chopper and Frankie.
Okay.
And then after that, they make their escape. What they don't know is Law arrived.
Then G5 is also on their way.
Yeah. I believe. What happened first? Did he switch to Shiki and Smoker first, or the Straw Hats?
I think they got caught up in his switch.
Yeah.
If I remember right, he had Smoker's heart by that point.
Yeah.
In fact, the Luffy, they basically beat up Brownbeard's crew and take their winter clothes.
Yeah. And said, I wish I had this in Arendelle. But Donald tells me the magic doesn't work like that.
Donald said I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and Usopp said, guess he's too used to
I
the
don't
beach.
want to Jack Torrance myself.
Yeah. And Usopp said, and actually Zora will say, guess you're used to the beach, Zora. Hey, Islander, what can I say?
Which makes you wonder, how do you even know what snow is?
I don't know.
Because Destiny Island doesn't seem like the type that would actually get a winter.
Yeah, unless they have seasons, which I doubt they do. The only season there is summer.
Yeah, because it looks more tropical than anything.
Yeah.
Where are the palm trees?
Yeah. And so, all right, let's go back to the gang. Let's go back to the gang. Kari and Nami must be worried about
I
it.
think meanwhile, Virgo should be talking with Caesar.
What?
Virgo should be talking with Caesar by now, I think.
Yeah. Should he team up with the Kingdom Hearts villain?
Like who?
How about Hades?
I don't know. He kind of seems like he'd be out of place here.
Yeah, maybe somewhere like Punk Hazard, or I mean, Dressrosa, or
Just Rosa would be more fitting, since that already looks like a Greek town as it is.
yeah, we'll do. Hades will make a cameo and will make a guest appearance in
I like sudden death.
Yeah, he could. In fact, we might be able to use Cerberus or the Hydra there. And so when we get their swords,
In that era, I don't think so.
okay. But if we did,
Well, it's
Sora will say,
outside the Coliseum.
yeah, and Sora say, my advice if we face the Hydra, get up on the Hydra's back. What?
Yeah. The what?
That's something Pete. It's something Phil always yelled at me.
Phil.
I said, I almost said Pete. I meant Phil. He said, get up on the Hydra's back. Okay. How about Caesar teams up?
Phil.
How about Caesar teams up with Dr. Draken?
Okay.
But Kim Possible won't
Is
be in.
she go there?
Yeah. In fact, how about a Kyrie versus Shigo rivalry?
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah, so you left your old world of Melton. Just Maleficent summon you from Melton, Draken. What brings you aid here? Well, I came to get for one thing, I came to make a weapon so so I can come back to my world and defeat Kim Possible once and for all. And I said, yeah, I know about that teen
The
hero.
likes of you defeated by a high school girl? Don't make me laugh. Shut up. No.
Hey, that teenage girl can fight. In fact, that Keyblade, you know about the Keyblade wielder Maleficent told you about. You mean Sora? Yes, I've heard of him.
He is of no consequence to me. He'll fall just like the others. Besides, he can't even touch me.
If he does, he'll. And Shiga was like, whatever, I don't care. While filing her nails.
I guess Monet wouldn't like Shigo.
Yeah, they have a good bond together.
Pretty sure Monet wouldn't really care about Shigo.
What'd you say?
I don't think Monet would care about Shigo.
Yeah, they hate working together.
I think she might make bird jokes at her expense.
Yeah.
So should Lobby in the room with them too?
Yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah, and I believe this is...
This might be before that he meets with G5.
Yeah. And then... meanwhile, Kairi was helping Kairi and the others were helping the kids. And Kairi was saying, once we meet with my boyfriend, with mine and Nami's boyfriend, they're gonna help us. They always help us, no matter what. Are you sure? My boyfriend has saved the world 3 times from this lunatic named Xehanort. If anyone can do it, he can. I promise you will return with your parents. Oh, and Monet gives Kairi a bone-crushing hug.
Watch it, please.
Yeah. And I believe this is the part where they see Law and Tashigi and Smoker and they try to leave, but once Law sees them, he has their hearts switched.
He uses his room.
Yep. And here's how it happens. It's the same with the Straw Hats, but Kairi is in. Did I say Kairi was in Riku's body or Donald's body?
She was in Donald.
Yep, Riku is in Kairi's, and Goofy is in Riku's, and Donald is in Goofy's. Gosh, that sure is. Oi!
Why did I get shorter?
That's it. I don't know, but hey, what happened to my firearms?
Whoa, Donald, is that you?
Yes, the worst Riku and Kairi. I'm right here. Oh my god, I'm in Riku's body. Oh great, now I'm in Goofy's body. This is so humiliating. No offense, Goofy. Of course, wouldn't like it. He does, and he does the nose thing that Goofy does, and and, and Kyrie said, "Okay, that's That's weird."
That's weird. Don't do that again.
And then they just found out the Straw Hats swap too.
With Chopper being in Frankie's body. No, Chopper's in Sanji, I think, and then Frankie's in Chopper. Nami's in Frankie, and then Sanji's in Nami.
Yeah, and Kyrie is the one to point out Law must have did this. Ooh, but I get my hands on him. And
Arina's like, how are we going to explain this to Sora?
yeah, I'm not gonna get. I'm not gonna get married to him like this. You think that's look at me, and Sanji says, "Oh, this is so beautiful." Then then Riku says, "Can I hit you? Can I hit your body, Nami?" What'd you do that for me?
Just don't hit it too hard.
Yep.
You're a degenerate, Sanji.
Yep. But what about the Keyblade? Can you summon it? And he tries. No. Wait.
But what about you, Sanji? Can you use your air step?
Then Sanji and Nami's body raises and it's the Keyblade. Then Kyrie said, "Wait, I don't get it. Shouldn't we summon the Keyblade? Said it came in our hearts. Since it comes from our hearts. Does it specifically mean body? I don't get
it. Who knows how these rules work?
No, we gotta find a way out of here."
Meanwhile, Luffy's made it over to
Yeah.
where Law is.
Yeah.
Fighting Smoker.
Hey! Yeah, and Luffy gets all excited. What about Sword? Would he get excited to see Law too?
Yeah.
How you doing, Law? Long time no see. Yeah. And Cloud says, "Hey, Strife. Hey, Trafficker." He doesn't call Law by his name. He just calls him Trafficker. He doesn't call him Traffy or Law or just Trafficker.
Trafalgar.
Yeah, because I could see Cloud doing that. And he calls Cloud his last name Strife. While they have respect for each other, they don't like to call each other first names.
Yeah, that's something Cloud would do.
Yeah. So I see. Have you managed to catch Sephiroth? No, not yet. But I have a feeling that
no, not yet.
But I have a feeling that our next battle is going to be our last battle. But you said that last time. But I feel in my heart this time. I can't explain it, but I had a vision of us in this place where when that looks like federal Japan or something, or federal ancient town, and you had a battle against Sephiroth with this other big guy, and this
big guy. You must mean Kaido.
Yeah, wait, you know who that is, Law? Trafficker? Well,
yes,
we'll get
but
to
I'll
him.
explain later. I have something to take care of first.
Yeah. And then they meet. I think the Brooks thing plays out. They call Brooke calls Sora
Yeah,
and
he's kind of got Kim on mid half.
yeah,
Yeah, I think he also met up with Luffy's crew before this.
yeah. Been so long I forgot what order they went in. It's, hey, Brooke, have you seen where's Kyrie and the others? They got captured. It's like, what?
Well, as I remember,
So we gotta go find them.
I guess they just randomly find them in this where they have the kids there.
Yeah,
They're in a hiding spot.
yeah, and and Luffy sees he was about to punch. He was about to punch Nami. Frank was about to punch Nami and stops, and then he's Nami, are you okay? Come on, let me kiss you. And
No, no, no. And Sanji would kick Luffy in the face like, Nami, not Nami, not Nami, Luffy.
wait,
What the?
what?
Sanji,
Sanji?
what are
What are
you
you
doing
doing?
to my girlfriend's body?
Wait, did you
And
do
where's
this?
Nami?
Did you do this? No, I'm completely innocent. Yeah, he's right. He's right, Luffy. I'm in Frankie's body. Wait, you're in Frankie's body? And Sanji's and Nami's body? Then I was about to kiss.
And I wouldn't have enjoyed it either, Luffy.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sora says, "Where's the Kyrie? I guess you swapped." Yeah, I'm in Ricky's. Then I'm not gonna kiss you in Riku's body, and somewhere a bunch of fangirls ground. And yes, I'm taking a shot at the Sora and Riku fangirls. Nothing against them. I just don't ship. We don't ship them together. We just see them as
Yeah.
best. Like if you ship it, good for you. We're not making fun of you. This is just good fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then where's Donald? I mean, Kyrie. And Sora says, "Okay, I
Okay,
am going."
don't ever talk again like that, Donald. Donald, you're going to be silent the entire trip here till this gets fixed.
Yeah.
Then they start seeing something wrong with the kids.
Yeah. Well,
They say the master gives them a piece of candy.
yeah. This master has a new partner. He has blue skin and a scar and a chick and a woman that has green skin and long green hair. And Sora says, "I'm." That doesn't sound like my rogues gallery of villains. And
Then Chopper will analyze the candy and see it's poison.
yeah, and Sora says, "I'm sorry, Chopper. I just it's just funny. It's just so funny hearing you in Sanji's body. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, 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 nothing.
Because he knows when Frankie gets taken away, Luffy, Sora, and go after him.
Yeah.
Mickey probably goes with him too.
Yeah. I mean, before that, they make their plans. Then the Yeti brothers, where those split, and Sanji and Riku and Sanji goes with Riku and Kairi's body. And no, he was a Goofy's body. My bad.
Yeah.
I can imagine Goofy doing a angry look, and it would look fun, still look funny.
Yeah.
Yep. Then Mickey said, "What that? Whoever the Caesar is, he really makes me angry." We hear Mickey's anger because he's like Kairi and Nami. He also cares for children.
Yeah.
In fact, he tells a story of how his master, Disney, made Disney Town the happiest place. You know, Disney Town is based off of Walt Disneyland or World.
Really?
That's what I'm thinking. He made it so children could be happy with their parents.
They're kissing this where Lost saves them, and then he tells Sora and Luffy about the alliance he wants to make. That they're going to go after Kaido.
Yeah. And Frankie goes against Chopper's rings and takes a rubber ball and goes on a rampage.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, I forgot." And the Yeti Yeti brothers fight Sora and Luffy, and it's like a boss battle, a mini boss battle.
Yeah.
And then after that, Law talks about the alliance, proposes about the alliance, and Luffy and Sora agree, while the other Straw has disapproved, except for Robin and Mickey, because even if she knows that they'll be betraying the alliance, and Mickey says, "We might not have any choice. Law's one of the most trustworthy pirates."
Of the warlords so far.
What?
Of the warlords.
Yeah, and Cloud said, "Yeah, I agree." Plus, he says Kaido knows Sephiroth, and I could use that as an advantage against him. And then Frankie and Chopper swap back, while Nami ends up in Sanji's body, and Kairi's still in Riku's.
Well, it's because their body. They also go. Then Zoro, not Sanji, and Brook to go find Kinemon's the rest of his body.
Yeah, before they leave, Nami tells them says she will fine Sanji over 1,000 berries if he looks at her boobs again. And he said, "But that's not fair." And Kyrie says, "Too bad."
Yeah. Should Mickey go with Zoro and Brook to find
Yeah,
Kinemon's body?
yeah, and they get surrounded by a giant heartless that's like the one from the Caribbean. And Mickey says, "He'll
The
fight."
anglerfish.
Yeah, it returns, and Mickey says he'll fight it. Well, Sanji will rescue Kinemon's.
Right.
Actually, he did. No, he didn't. I was thinking, where would Don and Goofy go?
They probably stay with Chopper.
Yeah, he switched Kyrie. Of course, he switched Kyrie back with Dom, and now Kyrie's back in
So it's
back
just
in,
Riku and Goofy they need to be swapped back.
yeah. Kyrie's, oh, I'm back in my own body. Then she gives Sora a kiss, and Nami and Luffy looks with being happy, but they look at each other and say, "I want to kiss you right now, but not while you're in
Not while
Sanji's."
you're in Frankie or Sanji or whichever it is.
Yeah, it's Sanji now. So, I don't blame you, Luffy. Then Dio, don't touch me like that. It's awkward.
Yeah, it
So,
is. Let's not do that again.
none of this until you get back your body. And then then Law warns about Hockey. We need Hockey to beat him, and Luffy says the only one that knows how to use Hockey is me, Sora,
Kyrie.
and Sanji.
I don't think I think Zoro knows Armament hockey too.
And Cloud. Cloud too. Yeah, and they continue and then
Law should be taking Chopper into the Caesar's place so he can analyze everything else for the candy.
yeah. And yeah, that's when the kids started acting crazy, and Sora knocks them up with a sleep spell,
Yeah,
and
we're not really keep that up.
yeah, if they wake up, yeah, and Kyrie, all the Keyblades, even Nami knows. Actually, no, she went.
She doesn't know hockey yet.
Does she, Nami?
Should she?
I think so. Since she's a Keyblade wielder now, but she's still in Sanji's body.
Right. I don't think she can do that while in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, Saji and Kinemon and Brook and Riku see smiling, and he tells a story about the slime eating clothes off of women, and everyone acts perverted except for Zoro and possibly Riku, because Riku is a heterosexual boy. He's not perverted.
Hmm.
He's not like Sanji.
Right.
In fact, he said they take clothes off of women. That's disrespectful. And Nami called and Sanji called Riku a Boy Scout, and Zoro said, "Hey, at least chicks love him more than you." What was that? You heard
What
me.
was that?
You heard me. In fact, Sora and Luffy are the biggest doofuses. Yet they have a girlfriend and you don't.
Hmm.
Yeah, I believe after that Sora and the others get captured and they made up with Tashigi and Smoker, and
Yeah.
and Caesar forgot that Sora's the Keyblade wielder. He didn't even lock Sora's hands. Sora didn't realize it until, hey, he didn't lock my hands. Let's see if
Well, you're stupid.
Yeah. And next part is Law's heart get crushed by Virgo, I believe.
At least he had his heart and was just like using it to make him feel pain.
Yeah. And Chopper was trying to way to cure the kids. And then they rescue the samurai, and it's Kidomon's body.
The rest of him.
Yeah, and he says he's trying to find his son Monozosuke. And Riku says, "Don't worry, we'll find it." And meanwhile, back at the place, Nami and Usopp struggle to help the children. She and and, and Kairi still uses sleep on the children sleeping, but
But her
then
magic's running out, I feel.
yeah, and then Caesar comes and lures them away with the candy. It's that candy compliment. It's not good candy. It's not like the candy Sora and I used to eat from this guy named Wonka. Sorry, I had to do a Willy Wonka joke. Anyway, what happens? What should we talk about next?
If I remember right, Brownbeard finds out that Caesar betrays them,
Yeah, and
takes the
Sora.
kids back.
Yeah, and Kyrie said, "What'd you expect? Look at that guy. He's he looks like a. Does he look like a face of a friend? I'm not one to judge people, but I can study people's hearts, and I know that guy can. That guy is evil.
Then he also, I think he unleashed Smiley right now.
Yeah. What kind of boss battle would Smiley be?
I don't think it is a boss battle since everybody just runs from it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Smiley's
The
Smiley's
slime
yeah.
monster that creates Land of the Dead.
Yeah. And Sora and
Now it's just everybody just running to get into the Caesar's lair.
yeah, and I believe it was about the part where the door was about to close, but they all made it just in time. And once they reunited, um, they all made their plan. And Nami was like, "Hey, guy, can you
Well, it switches back, and then Sanji's like doing the no thing with his hands.
Yeah."
And once back in their bodies, Nami beats the crap out of Sanji.
Yeah, and so would Luffy do the same?
He'd probably be up with Law chasing after Caesar.
Yeah. And before he, and so they asked, "What are we gonna do?" So Nami now that she's back in her body, she's Law says, "We only have 2 hours to escape, and the safe place is through R66 and Room R." And
Yeah, it's basically just one big running scene with different converging paths.
yeah, and I believe Smoker and Tashigi swapped back, and they said,
Because Frankie's gone back to the Sunny after they got out of the cage.
"Yep," and he tells Tashigi to lead the men and rescue the children.
Well, Smoker and Law go after Virgo.
Yeah, what? And Draken orders Shigo to confront Kairi and the others.
Shigo would go after Kairi.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said somebody else.
I said Kairi and Nami.
Yeah.
And then once they were and once that happens, Kairi and Shigo bring her. What would you call those glowy things?
Her hands. Energy on her hands, but should she be empowered by the darkness?
Yes. It's both green and black. And she says, "I guess possible isn't here. So you'll do for now, princess." And Kairi said, "Just because I'm a princess doesn't mean I'm weak." And Nami, you go on ahead. But I'll be fine. Let's just say the fight is it's an evenly matched fight. It's that training you must have pulled off. Yeah, well, I team up with this guy named Monkey D. Dragon, revealing that she and Robin met the Revolutionary Army and they trained together.
Mm-hmm.
But we won't know much until Dressrosa.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, Nami was looking back worried, but Robin was there with her and said, "Don't worry, Kairi will be okay."
Yeah, because Nami's more main focus is the children right now.
What?
The children are more on Nami's mind right now.
Yeah, but she could worry about Kyrie too.
Well, yeah.
And Nami tells them that Kyrie's gonna be fine. Do you trust? Yes, yes, I do. But that Shigo woman looks strong. What if she doesn't pick it back? She will. And meanwhile, Draken was watching and said, come on, Shigo, give her a punch. The the one of his henchmen said, boss, not now. Your new soap opera is on. Oh, it's based off that episode where Draken was obsessed with the soap opera with Duff Killigan, and, and he watches and Caesar was like, "Are you serious?"
You're an evil genius.
Quiet, quiet. You gotta watch it. Then he takes a look. What is this crap? Garbage. Come on, Felicia and Brock swapped by. I believe that's what their name were. And now that they were gonna get married. It was so. And Caesar said, "Wow, you're pathetic. No wonder you lost to a teenager."
But I might just end you myself.
But then he said, "But I got other things to worry about."
Like getting those kids back. What is so important about those kids anyway?
Hmm.
The less you know, the better.
Yeah. Uh, um, I'm thinking about what happens next.
Should be. I know one thing is Monet fighting against. Oh, Luffy will be fighting Caesar till Monet shows up.
Yeah, and Sora says,
And
"I'll."
that's where or Sora would join him, and that's where he'd later meet Momonosuke.
Yeah, they can fall down in the garbage chute and they meet Momonosuke. Isn't a dragon? How many dragons have we beaten today? When they
Be
find
the
out the dragon. What?
one. It'd be the second one they've met today.
Yeah. Just the when they found out the dragon talked, both Luffy and Sora freak out, or just Luffy or
Sora wouldn't freak out.
okay.
Oh, he's tiny.
Yeah,
Oh, he's bigger than Mushu.
yeah, yeah. He's always saw that dragon. And Sora, so how are we gonna get out of here? And Sora says, "I got a good idea." And he
I get
summons.
slow motion out, but I don't know about you two.
Then he says, "I got a good idea." Then he summons Goliath again.
I don't. Can you fly up?
I can't fly. I can climb aboard.
How are you gonna glide up?
He climb up. Just then he climbs up the wall. Like meanwhile, Chopper was and Monster Point. He was looking for. He was trying to hold the children.
Yeah, well, Mocha was running away with the candy.
Yeah, and I believe this is the part where we're not at the part where Mocha ate the candy, dude.
Not yet, but close to it, I think.
Yeah, this is where she begins to when she sees her mom. These people, she needs help, and then Chopper runs into her and he fixes her, calms her down. And he says, "Ark!" And this is the part where he says, "It's not your." She feels guilty, but he says, "It's not your fault. It's Caesar's." And then he said, "You gotta have trust in our captain. Is better than him because he's gonna be king of the pirates, and Sora is gonna be Keyblade master." And Sora and Luffy fights with Monet, I believe, and almost dies in battle.
Oh, I think that'd be Zoro and Tashigi fighting her.
Yeah, Sora. Would Riku fight her too?
Yes.
And Zoro was holding Tashigi and saying, "Put me down." Not a chance. You still.
Like, yeah, you're still on your way around.
Yeah, and Riku says, "How? Why is he second in command?"
I assume Sora was, or at least they'd share it.
Yeah. And it's a long boss battle, and it's like a mini boss battle between Riku and Monet.
Yeah.
Monet and
Zoro would probably end it with his hockey.
yeah,
The thing is, Land of the Dead still going through the facility.
yeah, and Sora and Luffy and Sora fight Caesar and meet Caesar and
Well, he
Doctor.
also outs himself, saying he doesn't care about his men or Brownbeard.
Yeah, and Draken says, "What are you doing? You're gonna blow our cover."
What does it matter? They can't do anything to me.
You just think it's start a revolution.
If they do, I'll just destroy them.
Then he says, I'm not gonna be part of this anymore. I'm going back to my world."
Fine, I didn't need you anyway.
And Sora said, "Who was that?" then he's then he summons the corridor and
Usopp should still be trying to get those cuffs for Caesar.
yeah. While Kairi is still fighting Shigo, and Draken picks her up.
And one Smoker are still fighting Vergo.
Yeah. And Draken says, "Shigo, we're leaving." What? What is the Well, if we don't get out of here, we're if we don't get out of here,
the Land of the Dead will consume us. I don't think you want that.
then she said, we shall meet again, princess. Don't call me that."
I look forward to it.
Huh. And she said, "Wait, did I just win or was that a draw?"
It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I gotta find Nami. and and
I think at this point, Caesar's fused with the land of the dead.
yeah, and now we're at the part where Monga eats the candy.
Yeah.
And when Cairo arrived just in time, and said, "Oh no, the what'd she do? She ate all the candy, Kyrie. Why?" Well, and Chopper looks over to see if she's alive. And she is. Then we gotta find a cure for her. If we don't find a way to fix her in time, she could die. And that caused all the kids to come to their senses, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, what if we... They've all felt guilty, and Sora tells... I mean, Kyrie tells them it's not their fault. It's Caesar's. He will pay for this.
Sora, Luffy, and Caesar are still fighting even after he fused with the land of the dead.
Yeah,
But Sora can negate that effect.
yeah, and Sora and Luffy makes a new limit together.
Will he still use Grizzly Magnum?
Yeah. And meanwhile, Mickey and Cloud, we finally see Mickey and they were about, and Caesar were about to blow some gas, but they were blocked by Cloud. And Cloud, what are you doing here? I got lost. Wait, are you turning into Zoro? No, not really.
Place is amazed. Don't know where one is to go.
Well, it's good. It's good to have you back here, Cloud. This guy's tough. Yeah, and Zoro. I'm sorry.
I think at this point, Law should be done with this fight with Vergo. And because he destroyed the Smile Factory there.
Yeah.
After he diced Vergo into pieces.
Yeah. And Caesar becomes a big monster. And meanwhile, Usopp tells his subordinates, that his lackeys, that Luffy will never betray his crew. And and after that,
Plus, they already agreed to help since they overheard Caesar say he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you. And Sora and Luffy defeat Caesar and send him flying out of the factory. And so, wait, we need it then.
But at the same time, Frankie had arrived at that exit while Buffalo and Baby 5 are also on their way.
Yeah.
Now it's a case of everybody trying to get to the mine shaft so they could escape. The Land of the Dead is still on its way through the facility.
Yeah. And when Sora and Kyrie finally reunited, and we gotta get out of here and kiss. We gotta get out of here before that poison gas. Oh, oh, if only my summon was still here. But I ran out. But I ran out of summon power.
What about you, Jerry? Yeah, I'm running low too.
And what about you, Nami? Can you? I don't know how to use summon. Actually, yes, she does. Who would be a good summon for them as they try to escape?
Not sure.
And it won't be Thomas the Tank Engine. Just. Oh, that's interesting.
What?
Oda, I read something on Twitter that says Oda says that when Shank appears frequently in the manga, you could assume that One Piece has entered the final saga.
I mean, I kind of think we kept thinking that because he keeps showing up.
Should it be Should you mean the final arc?
We're in the final saga right now.
I know, but we're not in the final arc yet.
No.
I think we got 5 years before the final arc.
So is he saying Shanks or Shamrock?
Shanks.
Okay.
Anyway, Nami. Dad, she won't summon it. I changed my mind. She won't summon somebody. But they did find the they found the cart to help us there. They put Mocha in and the elephant in. And they get surrounded by Heartless, and Sora says, "Key Bears! Let's all fight!" And Luffy joins the Key Bears, actually they all can fight Heartless. Imagine Robin helps out too. And
that'd be awesome.
It's a 2-floor, and everyone knocks each Heartless one after another. And then Smoker thinks he grabs Smoker's heart and stabs it, but instead it was Monet.
It's actually Monet's.
And Monet dies. Did you feel bad for her?
No.
Me neither. It was because it was revealed later that Smoker Smoker swapped Monet's heart with Smoker's.
Yep.
But that was an interesting twist.
It was.
How come the twist in One Piece work yet Naruto's sucks?
Because Oda knows what he's doing.
Yeah, pretty much. And after that, they defeated they finally escaped.
Just in time for Bay 5 and Buffalo to show up.
Yeah, and Frankie fights and defeats them.
Yeah, they still get away, but Usopp and Nami catch Caesar with the cuffs.
Yep.
Well, Baby Five and Buffalo get away.
Yeah, and Mocha recovers from the drug overdose.
Well, then Law takes all the kids into the Navy ship and pretty much does his thing with them because Chopper was like so shocked he'd do that.
Yeah, but it was revealed that he
He
removed.
removed most of the drug that's in them.
Yep, and you said you saved them. I didn't do it for them. I did it for you. And he says he doesn't like children.
Hmm.
He said,
Given his backstory, it's kind of weird him saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. Then Mickey asks, So, Law, I heard rumors.
Smoker.
What?
Smoker, what's going to happen now?
Yeah. He said, well, we're not going to catch you for now because you saved us and we're grateful.
What about the kids?
We'll take them back to their homes.
We'll take them back to their homes. Because honestly, I don't think your government is trustworthy.
But you can trust me.
I don't follow the government's wills a lot, but this, I'm not going to adhere to them. I even have standards.
Yeah. Would even Garp feel the same thing?
Garp probably would side with Smoker on that because, yeah, what their government's doing is pretty much not great considering they probably would have allowed the testing on the kids to continue.
Yeah. But you have to promise they'll be home safely.
We'll make it our job to keep them safe till they get home.
Can you fight Heartless?
We'll manage.
Then he asks, I gotta ask you once.
Should he actually respect Mickey because he's a king?
Yes. Then Mickey asks, I gotta ask you one thing. How did the government know about the Heartless?
Our fleet admirals is using them.
But did a man named
Even our past fleet admiral, Sengoku.
How long did that happen? Like, how many years?
You have to ask Garp that. I'm not privy to that.
I could see.
I feel Garp would actually know the answer. Smoker probably wouldn't, since they were probably already there when he joined.
Yep. In fact, here's how it happened. There's a flashback of Garp. Garp is in his office, thinking back to when the government was told, "All right, men, you will offered to be controlling these creatures. They are called the Heartless. They will give you unlimited power, the power of darkness." And hearing that made Garp frown. And Garp, would you like that power? He said,
"Get away from me."
He said, I was right that they wouldn't I was right to reject that power.
This isn't a wise choice.
I'm just glad, even though he's a pirate, I'm just glad Sora is here. Sora
you can trust. He's been fighting the Heartless for a long time.
Yep, Mickey's not talking to Garp, is he?
No, he's talking to Smoker.
Yeah. Then he asks one thing. Is that girl, she's a princess of heart, isn't she? Yes. I have a strange feeling that, and Mickey says, "Yet I have a strange feeling we have another one in our crew." Wait, what? Yeah. Every time I'm around either Robin or Nami, I feel both of their hearts full of light. I think one of them are the
I think
Princess of
you'd be
Heart.
disbelieving of Robin having that.
What?
I think Smoker would disbelieve Robin having that.
Yeah, he gets it. Maybe I could buy the Navigator. They seen Nami
That
playing.
demon child. I don't see it.
Well,
Like, she's only
Nami.
a demon child because you guys made her that.
Yeah. Who should be the Princess of Heart? Nami or Robin?
Good question.
How about we leave it a mystery for now?
All right.
We'll let the audience decide. They said, before we go, why don't we have a party? Says Luffy. Then Brooke, then Sora, and Kyrie join together and they sing A Whole New World together again. It's their song. It's like, this is a song we're going to sing at our wedding. I would do I See the Light from Luffy Nami, but I see that as a Narusaku song.
Yeah.
In fact, speaking of Naruto, and one of the one of Caesar's soldiers said, "Hey guys, I finally finished my book." while we were dying,
Yeah,
I was.
but he gets consumed by Land of the Dead.
Yeah, yeah. Who was that?
No, he just walks out after finishing it, like just gets taken over by Land of the Dead.
Yeah, and there's who was that? That was Commander Kishi.
Who?
Exactly.
They also meet Momonosuke, and then Kinemon gets brought back.
Yeah, and Kinemon and Momonosuke hug, and Sora
They
says,
see that Momonosuke can turn human.
"Yeah," and then Sora has a look at him and says, "For some reason, I don't think that's. I don't see how Kinemon and Momonosuke are
You
related."
two don't look a thing alike.
And then he said, he gets it from his mother."
I can see Kinemon saying to Sora, like, just play along for now. His true identity must remain a secret. Alluding to that the whole thing about Momonosuke's real parents.
Yeah. He said, "All right, I'll keep it a secret for now." And then after that, Sanji said, "Hey kids, I could cook," and Sora said, "Hey, I can cook better." Yeah, with a rat.
Yeah, you have a rat controlling you.
Hey, I got
Maybe
better
you
cook.
let him control you and see how better it is when you're doing it. He's doing it with you.
Yeah, and they have a cooking contest, and Luffy is the judge. He tastes Sanji's first, and that's pretty good. But then when he tastes the Sora, he said, he said, "Oh, that's the most delicious."
Damn it! Defeated by a rat. Yeah, and so maybe we should have this rat be our new chef.
Don't even think of
Like, what?
And Kyrie and Nami said, "Don't even think about it." And both in unison. Then he said, "Well, now that Riku's here, how about instead of having one best man, how about how about you and Luffy be my best man, Riku?" Like,
I feel Riku would just be the best man, while Luffy can be a groomsman.
Yeah, Don and Goofy as well.
I know Luffy and Sora are close, but I feel Riku is still Sora's closest bond.
Yeah. and and then after that, we have another Sora Kyrie moment, and said, "I just figured out what today's date is. What is it? It's the day of the
Friday the
anniversary." No.
Sorry.
What- if it's Friday the 13th, good thing we're not at that one place. I think it was called
Camp Crystal Lake, I've heard.
Yeah, I heard that there was this killer named Jason Voorhees.
It was this undead killer.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's it. That's today. But it's also the day we celebrated. We shared the Palproof. It would be the third anniversary of it, I think.
It's also when I also lost you.
It's Kyrie's. I don't want. They have a moment. I don't want to lose you ever again, Sora. I love you so much.
Well,
and Sora says, "I'm not going anywhere."
I guess he cares. If Xemnas shows up again, I'm not gonna be taken by him this time.
Yeah, it's not your fault. You just weren't properly portrayed.
Thanks, Merlin.
Yeah, I still blame Merlin.
Yeah.
Because after all, Merlin was kind of a cuckoo wizard. I mean, he almost ruined the plan to destroy the MCP because Sid called him old.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he
destroyed? Watching Sword in the Stone, he seemed like not the greatest mentor.
Yeah, he's better than Kakashi, but
that's not saying much.
Yeah, it's
old loon, you say?
Yeah. So I think Aqua training her would be better.
Yes. Also, it's kind of Yin Sid's fault. Sora faded away too.
Yes.
Since he really did not explain the power of waking too well or its drawbacks.
Yeah. If they ever made a how it should ended version of Kingdom Hearts, they would say, "Wait, you knew Sora would fade away, and you never told him that?
You didn't tell him that?
I thought he would have to find out for himself.
But he faded away. Now what are we gonna do?"
Yeah, and of course it's based off the Spider-Man 3 how it should have ended.
Did you see the Sonic 3 one yet?
Yes, I did.
You're giving off a vibe.
Yeah. And I love, how are we breathing in space? And I thought back to you know what.
Yeah, but for Sonic it makes sense.
Yep. But for Naruto it doesn't.
Because not once did space ever mention in the entire series.
Right.
Yeah, why didn't Shadow teleport Ivo and Maria out?
I don't know.
Since he could do that.
Yeah. You know that part where he said, because whether he saves Agent Stone, saved Eggman, said, "You save me because the franchise can't survive without you."
Is that more on the movies or the games, or just because of Carrie?
I think because of Carrie.
Speaking of Agent Stone, I saw this picture of the actor playing him with Michelle Ruff.
Really?
Yeah, it said Cream meets Agent Stone.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Sonic movies might have their flaws, but they're actually good adaptations, honestly.
Yeah, unlike other video game movies.
Let's just hope that 4 continues the good train.
Yeah. Ooh, I didn't know that. Mayday Parker voiced was voiced by Michelle Ruff, the baby.
In what? Spider-Verse?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, that was her. I was looking at her wiki, and that surprised me a little bit.
Even though she can't talk.
Yeah,
Now I just want Mayday to grow up to have Rukia's voice.
yeah. I was imagining that if Sora had a, I don't Cat Sorcery voiced her, but in the KH1, but she was a defined character there. I doubt she was, and I doubt if we ever meet Sora's mom, she would voice her. So I could see Michelle Ruff voicing Sora's mother.
Yeah.
And Nolan North as Sora's dad. Those are my headcanon voices.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not over the top Nolan.
Should it be Nathan Drake Nolan?
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, the story ends with them aborting the Sunny as they make their way to Dressrosa.
Dressrosa.
Yep, and that ends the story for now. But we're still talking for another hour, like we always do.
Okay.
Called a post story podcast or whatever. That was fun, even if we forgot some things.
Yeah, it's just been so long since I've seen Punk Hazard.
Yeah, where are you in Wano?
I haven't been watching it. I've been watching Fairy Tail mostly right now.
I still need to watch Fairy Tail.
So I'm close to the first time skip of the series.
Imagine you were stuck with
Urza as one of Sora's comrades.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you this. Imagine if you were stuck in the elevator with Urza, Lucy, Sakura, Kairi, and Nami, and Robin, and Tifa. We would not survive, would we?
No. Most of those are pretty much in my harem anyway.
When I saw Urza for the first time, I thought she looked like Kairi.
She's Kairi if she was a complete badass.
Yeah,
Not
I like Kairi.
Not, but Urza is more badass currently.
Yeah, Kairi will be badass.
Assuming Nomura does her right.
Yeah, and since Aqua's training her, I can assume that's going to be the case.
I hope so.
It's Kishi. Kishi made you wary, right?
Yes. I just hate that people keep saying Sakura's useless. Like, no, she's not.
Hinata's the one that's useless.
Because again, no Sakura, story ends. Like, could Hinata heal an entire army?
No.
And learning a juju that took Tsunade several years and just Sakura learned it in 2 years? Yeah.
Yeah. But she's the Hyuga princess.
Yeah, that lasted for 15 minutes and she's done nothing with it.
Even Kishi is wondering why she's popular.
Gee, it's almost like if you just listen to a bunch of loser fans, this is what happens.
Yeah. And there's a time when you listen to fans, like what Nomura did in Remind.
Because I'm pretty sure it was the West fans that pressured Kishi to make NH canon.
Yeah.
And look what they got. They're still complaining that Boruto is trash. Hey, this is what you wanted.
Yeah. Would we be complaining if Shidakachu is trash, the series?
If this is what still happens with Sheena, yes, we would. Would you?
Yeah.
Like, what is there so appealing about Boruto anyway? He's not interesting enough.
Yeah. It's.
If anything, he's got an easier time than his dad had.
Yeah, because he's the Hokage's son.
Plus, he's got a bigger tech pool than Naruto had.
Yeah. And yet you're trying to make him have a sadder life than Naruto's. That's bullshit.
Wow, because, well, for one thing, Boruto has both his parents. It's just one's not around. Naruto basically had nobody for 12 years.
And Hinata has done nothing to be a good mother.
No, she just lets her husband do whatever he wants.
Yeah. Go back to retrospect, Greg. Sakura, if this happened, if he was married to Sakura and that should happen, she would come back. She would go to the Hokage's mountain.
Swinging by his ear back home.
Yeah, but he won't do that. Because he and Sheena like each other, for one thing. It would be the best father-son duel in anime history.
Yeah.
Better than Goku Gohan.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I say more Piccolo Gohan.
Okay.
Because Piccolo is there for Gohan more than Goku was.
Yeah.
He spends half his time training and the other half dead. Sometimes both.
I can't wait to see retrospect Greg's 358 days review. I know he's gonna complain about the gameplay, which
the gameplay is awful. No, your gameplay and leveling system are completely screwed.
Do you know what's sad? It's a good story. It sounds like a good story.
I feel it's padded out way too much with the missions.
Yeah, when I was watching the story in the theater mode, I got bored.
At least the theater kind of trims the fat more, but it's still not good.
Yeah, the only thing I liked was Shion's death.
The last 3 missions are probably the best of the game when Roxas leaves and fights Riku at the end.
Yeah. I also did like that he fought Saiyans.
Yeah.
I was worried that
that's not what gave him the scar.
Yeah.
Because that would have been an interesting thing why he hates Roxas, that he scarred his face.
Yeah. I was worried that before that game was coming, I was worried that they were going to make Saiyans sympathetic. Thankfully, they didn't.
At least not till 3.
Yeah, when he died, I was like, are we supposed to feel sorry for him?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like 3 is at odds with itself, its story.
Yeah.
Because you have Evan who willingly joined back, but then he has a heel turn. I'm like, what? Am I missing something here?
Yeah, well, I mean, I could buy Zexy and try to atone, but
which he does, as well as Alias and Dylan did nothing in the story.
Yeah.
And Demix pretty much has no point in the whole story anyway.
when I saw him back, I was like, really? You brought him back?
Why are you back? Because really, Luxor is the more needed member here.
Yeah, in fact, I might have Luxor be at Dressrosa.
Because thanks to him, we can get Sora back with that card.
Yeah. I heard.
They're pretty much hinting that Yazora's driver is Luxord.
Yeah, I heard Luxord was. I heard one time that Luxord was Nomura's favorite character, but I think that was contradicted.
I don't know. I kind of like his design.
Yeah.
Should we have Vanitas be at Dressrosa too?
Yeah, he would join up. He would team up with Doflamingo.
Yeah, Sora can fight him, and then later he can fight him again in Wano.
Yeah. Imagine Luffy's reaction when
He sees Vanitas' face.
He said, "Sora, he looks like you. Is he your brother?" Not quite.
It's long and convoluted.
Yes.
Kind of like this whole series. Can you imagine how much space Final Fantasy VII's remake's gonna take up, the third part?
What?
Wonder how much Final Fantasy VII remake part 3 is gonna take up space wise.
I don't know.
Considering this last one was like 150, I'm thinking maybe 200, 250.
Yeah. Why can't games go back to days when we just play a game and that's it?
Not have to worry about this space stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 500 gigabyte PS3 and I still have plenty of space in mine. And I got a bunch of games on that.
Yeah. What about and to make and Larxena Marluxia won't appear in One Piece either. I think Larxena reminds me of Azula a little bit.
Yeah, somewhat.
They're both sadistic and cruel. Um, and I'm thinking, what can we do next? What can we do next week? I don't want to do well, I'm just I want to
Are you even through Act 2 yet?
not yet. You know, you know what else I want us to. We're doing, like I said, we're doing something. We might do a prequel of Naruto basketball career, like for the March Madness one. We'll do a prequel of Naruto as a basketball player.
Okay.
Of course, he had to play in the late or 80s, 90s, I think.
All right.
I don't know why, but I love when our podcast takes place in the '90s because that was the best decade ever.
That was
In my
our decade, basically.
yeah, because movies were great, video games were great, and TV cartoons were great.
Yep.
Well, they're still good video games. Their movies are terrible, and so are cartoons.
Yeah. I don't know. Video games is debatable.
Yeah, that's true. What was what would you say was the first video game? Would you say Zelda was the first game to have a story, a basic narrative?
Not. That's hard.
Because Mario Brothers was basically rescue a princess, and that's it.
Zelda's basically the same thing.
Yeah, but it was like, but it became Lord of the Ring, like Lord of the Rings. Basically,
Yeah.
I don't think the Zelda movie is gonna be good.
No. Considering who they're rumored to have been playing Zelda,
Yeah,
which I don't think Nintendo's gonna allow that.
yeah.
Or are we gonna put Tom Holland in another video game adaptation?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of sick of Tom Holland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a decent Spider-Man, but that's it.
Outside that, nothing.
He was a terrible. Would you say he was a terrible Nathan Drake?
I mean, if you want to go Uncharted 3, like opening when he first met Sully, he'd be the perfect choice. But trying to cast him as an older Drake doesn't work.
No. Ryan Reynolds could have been a good Drake.
I wonder how Wahlberg would have been if they had him be it, like back when he was still able to do it.
Yeah.
I want to kick your ass.
If The Simpsons ever have a last episode, would you watch it?
The what?
The Simpsons.
I don't know.
What about I definitely won't watch Family Guy finale. I don't think that show is that show is worse than The Simpsons in my opinion. Than Modern Family Guy.
Yeah.
Because at least The Simpsons are still in character.
Yeah.
Well, Family Guy is different than pre-cancellation. You know what? I said I used to say Kishi was George Lucas. I take it back. He's more like Seth MacFarlane. That's a more accurate comparison. I don't. You know what? I don't know if what I'm gonna do now. I mean, either gonna watch One Piece or continue on my. I might continue on my fic after I finish 4 episodes of One Piece. That's how many. I'm at the part where Chopper we'll be at the part where Chopper joins, and Sora and Naruto will learn more about his devil fruit. Dr. Kuro said you won't get him now, but but by year's time, you'll be able to get translation by probably by Sabaody.
You might say like your girlfriend's powers might come to you gradually from the other part of your fruit.
Yeah.
Because maybe by part 2, their fruits are fully awakened.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you know what? I might make some filler. Might make some. No, I'm not gonna make some filler arcs. Because if I did, I would have done the Asa one. The one with that little girl from with the dragon.
Hmm.
I didn't know that was filler when I first saw it.
In what, One Piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I watched Naruto's arc, I said, "This is filler, isn't it?" With a One Piece, I can't tell if it is or not.
Right.
That's why One Piece is. That's one reason why One Piece is better.
Yeah, their fillers are better and don't go on as long as Naruto's does.
Yeah, their longest filler arcs are 10 episodes, I believe.
In One Piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the G8 filler after Skypiea that was that long.
Yeah. And what else can we talk about? I'm also thinking about doing. No, we are never doing a Jaws sequels because
No, it's not needed.
yeah, even if you want to know what happened, even if we love writing about Luffy and Deku's friendship,
Dude, I've seen the Jaws sequels. It's not needed.
yeah, they're all. I've seen Jaws too. I was like, this is
Jaws
not.
2 is the only good sequel.
Yeah, but Jaws 3 and 4. I'm surprised they haven't made a Jaws 5.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Or they haven't rebooted the series yet.
Please God, no.
If they do, they'll probably make it like the book where they make Richard Dreyfuss' character unlikable.
Yeah. And the ties to the mafia.
Yeah, which was unnecessary.
Yeah, Jaws is an instance where the movie is better than the book.
Yeah, I would say Jurassic Park is better than the book too.
Yeah, some movies just don't need to be remade.
Yeah, look at what happened to Willy Wonka.
Yeah, both times.
Yeah, sure, the Gene Wilder one wasn't close to the book, but so what? It was. if it was
It
made
has
in the
its charm.
what?
It has its charm.
Yeah, if it was made like the book, I would hate. I would hate Willy Wonka, especially. I I love Johnny Depp, but I did not care for his Willy Wonka. I just thought he was too
No.
weird and
Also, I did not need to see where the Oompa Loompas were.
yeah. I mean, nobody cares.
I mean, Wilder's explanation was enough.
Yeah, and I also didn't like that in the remake that he didn't allow Charlie's family to move in with him.
Yeah.
And Charlie in the remake is kind of bland.
Yeah, he's not how the original one was.
I mean, the original one was still a good kid, but he's still acting like a kid.
Freddie Highmore just didn't seem like he cared about the role.
Yeah.
He just sounded like he was in that monotone voice the entire movie.
Yeah.
Which is weird since he later went on to play Norman Bates.
Yeah. I don't think he could top Anthony Perkins as Bates.
No. Ooh, we should probably maybe do a Psycho podcast for October this year.
Yeah, who would be Norman?
Boruto.
and Hinata would be Mother.
Yeah.
And who would he stab?
Need to think on that. Because we could do it could be Naruhito could have happened, but in this case, maybe Naruto left Hinata for Sakura.
Yeah.
Because that's how I would do it. I do it.
Yeah. And Sakura could play the girl's sister.
I mean, Sakura Naruto probably wouldn't be in this considering Bates' age.
Good point.
Unless you want to have Sheena as like Sam Loomis.
Okay, we'll do that.
Maybe Sarada can be the main girl, sister from the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, Naruto and Sakura might cameo at the end after Boruto's been caught.
Yeah, and they said he's never been this right ever since his mom died, and I had to put him in a mental home. I thought it was for his own good.
I mean, how much would Naruto even be in Boruto's life after that? Before that,
I don't know. I don't want him to look like a douchebag. You know what I mean? I want him to be a good. I always want him to be a good father.
yeah, but for Boruto, I don't think there's any saving him.
Yeah.
Unless we have it where Boruto just ran away.
Yeah, we could do that.
With Hinata, and
I'm still amazed that they're going to do Spaceball 2. I'm not going to see it.
I'm not either. It's just
too long. Too little, it was too late. I mean, I love Mel Brooks, and he's a genius, but that's all I could say. Oh, God.
Imagine a Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the Hugas as the psychos.
Yeah. I still need to see those movies. What about of course at Christmas we're gonna do the Santa Claus movies.
Right. What Universal movies are we doing for Halloween?
The Wolfman? Would the Wolfman be good?
Wolfman could be one. We could probably do Creature and Invisible Man too.
Yeah. It'd be weird to have Naruto play a villain.
What's he gonna be, Invisible Man or Wolfman?
Invisible Man. Wolfman, he can't control people. Or Foxman.
So Sasuke to be the wolf that bites him?
Yeah.
Because Makoto can be Maleva.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Naruto doing that Claude Rains laugh in Invisible Man when he's taking all his clothes off.
Yeah.
You're crazy to now, aren't you?
We also could do Abigail be Dracula.
It'd be Frankenstein, actually.
Frankenstein. I was thinking Dracula because it was the
Yeah,
last time
yeah,
I
he
saw
did.
those with Vanitas as Dracula, and
Who's gonna be Abbott and Costello?
I don't know.
Hey,
I need to see that movie. I heard it's
oh,
very.
it's good.
They're up there with the Three Stooges and the Marx Brothers.
I thought we were gonna go. I mean, we could do Creature from the Black Lagoon with Sora and Kyrie.
Yeah, we need to give Sora and Kyrie some movie podcast. I mean,
So the only thing with Wolfman is that Naruto's gonna need to die in that one.
yeah.
So there's some horror movies where they probably would not survive.
Yeah.
I just love rewatching those old Universal movies.
Yeah, I need to do it too.
Invisible Man.
We also need to do more Pokemon, Naruto Pokemon podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh, great! They're reviving Family Matters.
Oh no.
I mean, that show is nothing without Carl Wins. Wait, Carl Wenzel's alive. I was thinking
Yeah,
Uncle
Bill
Phil.
Johnson's still around.
Yeah, I was thinking Uncle Phil.
My question is, are they going to get him and Jaleel White back?
Yeah, I think they're coming back. I think he's coming back too, because they were the heart of the show.
Yeah. And I see Naruto being a lot like Carl Winslow as a dad, too.
Yeah, or Uncle Phil.
He's like both of them and a bunch of other TV dads, the good ones put together.
Yeah, that's what Kishi should write him as. Instead, he's the equivalent of Peter Griffin.
Yeah. Or at least early Homer he should be.
Yeah.
It's the land of chocolate.
Do you know? What about a podcast with Uncharted? No, we already did that. It's called Indiana Jones.
We could do an Uncharted one.
Yeah. Of course, Naruto would be Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
And who would be Sully though?
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't think Jiraiya would fit Sully like at all.
Yeah. And
I just
Sakura.
think Rayleigh's the better character and mentor.
Yeah.
Of course, Sakura would be Elena.
Yeah. We'll figure out who would play the villains.
I know Sasuke can be Lazarevich,
Yeah.
but I still
It just,
leave Roman Navarro, Marlo Talbot, and Rafe.
yep. It's just so fun making Sasuke the bad guy.
It's just too easy.
Yeah.
I guess the Menma would be Sam,
Yeah.
played by Troy Baker.
Yep. I love Troy. I like Troy Baker.
He has a good Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.
He does. It's so sad that it's still. I'm still bummed about Kevin Conroy's death.
Agreed.
Because it came out of nowhere. When I thought, I was like Robin Williams. It just came out of nowhere.
I didn't believe you when you told me until I looked it up. Honestly.
Yeah. I also who else did I told you that died? Oh yeah, Toriyama.
Yeah.
How would you develop Kyrie as a character? Oh, I'll ask you that. Never mind. I'll ask you that when we do our Kyrie podcast
Wait, when is that?
in 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's gonna be our first non-fanscription podcast in a while.
Hmm.
The last one was the Naruto anniversary podcast,
Yeah.
which hard to believe was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and I'm just glad they didn't talk politics.
Yeah. Unlike the one Lucky we did.
Yeah, when they were talking politics, I was like, I was wanting to text you and say, "Do you think we should leave?"
Yeah.
And I didn't listen to the I'm gonna listen to the other ones someday too. The lucky, mine and lucky ones.
Yeah.
Us and lucky ones.
Mm-hmm.
I just love telling the story of Mark Hamill telling the story of how he found out about who Luke's father is.
Hmm.
The original story, and I love the part where he said, "Oh, hey," when he imitated Harrison, he said, "Hey kid, you didn't fucking tell me." He's taking a shot at Disney Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah. Which what he should do, because he loves Star Wars more than a lot of us. He loves it more than Harrison.
Harrison wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I think at first Carrie Fisher didn't, but she came around with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Amy Jo Johnson. She was a ship of Power Rangers at first, but she came around with it. Well, Jason David Frank loved being in Power Rangers, and so did Austin.
Hmm.
I wonder if Johnny Young Bush loved being in Power Rangers.
I think he did, but he just didn't like Adam. Because I've heard he did not like Adam.
Really?
I think he kept asking for them to kill Adam off.
That sounds like Harrison asking to kill Han Solo off.
Which is why he came back twice as Adam.
Yeah, especially the Power Rangers special,
Yeah.
which he did nothing.
He was out with Aisha in space for SPD.
Yeah,
Since by then SPD was already formed.
yeah. I just love that I haven't voiced Sheena.
Yeah. I think it fits him.
Yeah. And of course, Josh Keaton plays his father. I'm always gonna have Josh Keaton play Naruto in those except for special occasions.
Yeah.
Like the basketball one, I had Kurt Russell playing him.
Or Indy, we had Troy doing it.
Yeah, I doubt he would play Harrison would play Naruto.
Never. You could not pay him enough for that.
Yeah.
Then again, you paid him enough to become a Hulk.
Yeah. And that was weird. That movie was weird.
I mean, nobody liked the movie anyway.
Did it I don't think it bombed, but it didn't make the
Oh,
money.
it bombed. It bombed hard.
Oh,
Considering you had to reshoot the whole movie like twice.
yeah.
You good?
Yeah, it's the stupid allergies.
Ah,
I have it every year. I have it all season long, so I'm used to it.
I'm surprised mine haven't been acting up.
Then 5 seconds later, you started sneezing.
Yeah.
You know when Naruto saw when Naruto saw um um Luffy stretch. I mean Sora, not Naruto. When Sora saw Luffy stretch, he's like, I'm not surprised. Huh.
I mean, dude, you fought like tons of monsters and even the Disney version of Satan. Like, nothing should surprise you.
Yeah. What would it surprise Kyrie?
Probably.
And if Sora had a devil fruit, what would it be?
Good question. Would you have a lion fruit?
Yeah. Hey.
Given you turned into a lion in Pride Lands?
Yeah.
Because imagine if in the Venom arc, she actually got the symbiote too.
That would be scary, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Glad it didn't happen.
I mean, it was a possibility. It could have.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Naruto was going to do that, he'd probably back out of it since he would not subject his son to that.
Yeah.
I just can't wait till Hanami arrives.
Yeah, me too. She'll arrive after, I think, after Wano. Or before
Probably
Wano.
after Kaido's defeat.
Yeah. And she'll be a part of Egghead. Egghead.
Mm-hmm.
The Egghead arc. And if she ever gets kidnapped, every Straw Hat gets angry.
Yeah.
Especially Robin. That's her best friend.
Yeah.
In fact, when Robin holds her for the first time, she covered her mouth in tears. Especially when she was the first. I'm gonna make that Robin be the first person she smiles at. Hanami smiles at, or should it be? Or
Probably she smiles at her dad first.
yeah, then her brother, then her mom, and when she smiles at Robin, she said, "Hey, she smiled at you, Robin," and Robin says, Robin gets all teary eyed and then she hands him to Sanji, and and he farts on Sanji, and she farts on Sanji. well, how would Zoro feel about holding her?
Not sure.
How would she feel about Zoro holding her? Would
Good
she like
question.
Would she like Zoro?
Probably.
Yeah. Of course, she loves both Luffy and Nami.
Okay, that's funny.
What's funny?
I'm reading this. I'm seeing this poll saying which of these mighty female fighters would most likely survive the nuclear waste of a fallout. It's Korra, Sasha, Sakura, or Lids. And one of the comments says, "Y'all not choosing Sakura is blowing me. Please let go of the 12-year-old little girl and realize she's a certified doctor, combatant, and genius. She'd literally be ideal."
Hmm. That's pretty funny.
I think that's the issue. They can't get rid of that 12-year-old part one her.
Yeah. I mean, that's Kishi's biggest problem. He can't. If there was Oda, he would develop Sakura to get over. I don't think he would have Sakura have a crush on Sasuke, or maybe he could, but have her get have her get over him. I still don't know to this day what does she see in that asshole, other than the fact that it's good looks. So I think I'm about to head out. Okay.
All right. I'll see you next week.
Okay, I'll let you know what we're doing next week. I still
All
don't
right.
know. Bye.
Okay.